Not to curse, but WTF with cholesterol. I hear more cholesterol confusion on any given day than probably around any other medical topic. Everyone thinks their cholesterol is too high or too low, or they want to be on a medication, or they don't, and they don't know what to do, and they're getting 50 different opinions. Well, this video, we're breaking it down. We're going to talk cholesterol and what you need to know and how to sift through the noise and the chaos. All right, lesson number one. There are about 3 different types of cholesterol, main groupings. First of all, there's LDL cholesterol. That is the oxidized particle of cholesterol that's typically either genetic or it's being overproduced by the liver in response to something in the environment of the body. Wrong food, stress, all kinds of different reasons. Then there is HDL cholesterol. Remember, that is the good cholesterol. That's a protective cholesterol. So to really look at the cholesterol conversation, you have to look at the ratio of HDL and LDL to decide if your total cholesterol is really even an issue to begin with. Everybody gets super wound up and like, my total is high, my total cholesterol is high, but their HDLs or the good stuff is high. That's okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, the third group we need to talk about is triglycerides, right? Triglycerides are usually dietary. They're absorbed through your food. Now there are certain genetics that go with excessive absorption of triglycerides from food, meaning you could be eating super healthy foods, but your triglyceride levels are still too high. These are hypertriglycerides or hypertriglyceridemia, which is another form of high cholesterol. All 3 of these, your LDL, your HDL, and your high triglycerides, are determining what is happening with your total cholesterol number. So hopefully already at this point in the video, you kind of get that we can't just rely on a total cholesterol alone to be able to make a decision. All right, now we're going to move this conversation a little bit deeper, so hopefully you're ready for me. But it's not just even about the number of LDL particles you have, it's actually the type of particle. So take that LDL category, we're going to chop it up. There are a couple of different types. There's small LDL, there's large LDL, and out of small LDL, there is particle B LDL. Here is the issue. Those of you with a super high level of particle B, small particle cholesterol or LDL, yes, you need medications, especially if we can't get that number down. Those tiny little particles stick to the vessels. They stick and they cause coronary heart disease. So those are a no-brainer. The other category of LDL is the large fluffy particles. We call those pattern A. They typically don't stick, and those are the folks that you hear about that have really high cholesterol levels but 0 heart disease, often from Italy, the Mediterranean, or other parts of the world. Now, the reason for that is that high cholesterol number is not a cardiovascular disease risk. Does it need medication? Not necessarily. You have to look at it patient by patient, case by case to be able to make that decision. All right, so small particle, large particle, pattern A versus pattern B, HDL versus LDL, and triglycerides. Hopefully you understand the differences there. Now, how do we go ahead and actually reverse some of this stuff? Still have one more lesson. Hopefully you're hanging in there with me. There are people that are overproducers of the bad cholesterol, the LDL, so their liver is just pumping out this cholesterol over and over again. But there are other people that are excessive absorbers of cholesterol. So whatever they eat, they're grabbing cholesterol from the food and those cholesterol levels go up. Here's the catch. Absorbers versus producers need different protocols. They don't need the exact same protocol. And you have to look at it critically. For example, your absorbers, poor absorbers, need a lot more gut support and fiber to help them lower cholesterol. Whereas your overproducers, they again may need medication because that could be genetically driven. So hopefully you understand that high cholesterol is not just high cholesterol. You have to have an honest conversation and dig deep into the details, and the details make a difference to avoid unnecessary medication or worse, the wrong medication for your cholesterol management. Okay, but before we even get to medication in the practice at Center Spring MD, we really take that more holistic approach, which means the first place we're going to start is your diet, no matter what type of cholesterol we're dealing with. Now, here are the things to take out of your diet. I've got a lot of them sitting here. You probably know why they're here. Maybe you're pretending like you don't, but we're going to break it down. Alcohol. We know it raises cholesterol levels. There's no way for me to sugarcoat it. Alcohol turns to sugar. It is a problem. Speaking of sugar, foods that are high in sugar, we've got Pop-Tarts, sitting over here. Let's just look at the sugar grams in Pop-Tarts. I know I'm going to mess up the little display here, but we've got in a single Pop-Tart, what does it say? Who wants to guess? 25 grams of sugar in a single Pop-Tart, all right? That's your sugar budget for the entire day. You're technically done after that. So there are foods that are very, very high in sugar that drive triglycerides up and drive up the bad cholesterol. Refined foods, like you're seeing here, white bread, white pasta, all of those drive those numbers up as well. Poor quality oils, so this is a canola oil sitting here, or corn oil. Those are poor quality oils. They impact lipid metabolism. And then processed foods and excessive caffeine play a role in that as well. Now on the flip side, what are foods that can help cholesterol? Well, the foods high in omega-3 fats make a tremendous difference. So salmon, ground flaxseed, and yes, even eggs. Eggs have a ton of omega-3 fats in it. And a recent study actually showed that the yolk of eggs helped women with cholesterol because it helped with overall hormone balance. We also know foods high in fiber, like legumes, beans, lentils. Those foods also help bring cholesterol levels down. And the antioxidants make a difference, providing more oxygen to the cells, helping to reduce cholesterol as well. All right, so those are the yes foods, and remember the other good fats are going to be your omega-9 fats found in avocado or olive oil, also really important for cholesterol metabolism as well. So bringing more of these into your diet and less of these can make a difference in your cholesterol numbers. I had a patient just the other day who said, I lowered her cholesterol 150 points. Imagine that, off medication, off cholesterol medication, blood pressure medication, diabetes medication. It was a total win, and I'm super proud of it. We have so many of those cases at Center Spring MD. All right, what about, you're probably thinking supplements that I like to use for cholesterol management. Well, there are many. I've got a couple here that I'm going to call a few out. Again, if you can't get these omega-3 foods in, omega-3s are helpful, 2 to 3 grams a day. For those of you that can tolerate it, red yeast rice works like a natural statin and helps to bring cholesterol down as well. And then we know that CoQ10 makes a difference too. In addition to that, I like adding soluble fiber, especially if you have high triglycerides. That brings those numbers down. And I love berberine, which is an herb that also helps with cholesterol management too. So these are all the hacks and tricks we've used in practice before we've even had to make a decision about any type of medication. So cholesterol is one of those conditions that you can reverse. You don't need to be on a medication forever, but you do have to dig into the details of your own personal story. So hopefully I've cleared up cholesterol confusion, which everyone asked me about. It is important to understand the differences, who's at risk for cardiovascular disease, who really needs medication, and who has tried enough dietary, lifestyle, and supplement and herbal modification before we get to medications that ultimately can have side effects and irritate other areas of our body. All right, that's a lot, a mouthful on cholesterol. But if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I post new videos every week. And if you've got a cholesterol story, share it below. I love these stories. I want to start sharing them with all of you so that you can motivate one another to do better, be better, and that's when we live our best lives.